Here we go. Hopefully I won't be rudely interrupted this time. I had to call my wife. She was asking me how long until I get home. And so I can't record and make a phone call at the same time because I'm using my phone to record. That's how that works. Whoa, that's a pothole. Not even a new pothole. I need to focus. Focus on the road. Wow, excuse me, that's gross. That's gonna go on the internet forever, whatever. And yeah, that's a habit that I'm continuing. Not buckling my seatbelt before I get headed on down the road. Not supposed to do that. Whoops. Turning on to get on the highway. So what was I talking about? Those headphones? Yeah, I'm excited to get those headphones, man. It'll be cool. Little charging case to keep them in. And then, yeah, dude, it totally broke my chain of thought. Totally broke my chain of thought. Look at this guy. Can you guys see this truck next to me? Yeah, it can see out my window a little bit. There it is. That's about the angle that I would want if I ever got pulled over by the cops. Dude, okay, so there's I was listening to this video today about this guy he was just walking around in his own yard. And there was a no trespassing sign, but it was his yard, so this is for other people, right? And this dude was talking about the cops turned around and came and harassed this guy in his own yard, saying that, you know, like, oh, I need your ID, and this guy's like, no, I'm on my own property, I don't need to give you nothing, dude. And then he started reading off laws to him, and it was just so funny. You gotta look it up on YouTube. It's like, oh man, you know what? It's still in my clip tray. I can copy paste it. I'll just paste it into the description. You guys gotta go watch that video, man. It's actually a guy who's taking the video and then doing commentary over it, so it's not even the original video. But man, it's hilarious. And I'll post the one with the commentary too, because the commentary is pretty, you know, that guy's funny too. But man, this black dude, the cops just came and yelled at him. Or not even yelled at him, I don't know, just watch the video, it's funny. It's super funny. And subscribe to this channel too. I'm gonna have some new stuff coming, not just me driving to and from work and rambling and losing my train of thought. Worrying about cars trying to cut me off in traffic. I should get a forward-facing dash camera too, man, in case something ever happens. It's always a good idea. When I was driving the truck for the lumber company, they had one in there. They had a dash cam. I asked them how much they paid for it, and they were like, oh, I gave them a guess. I was like, it's probably like, you know, I don't know, $70 to $100, and they said it was a $150 camera, and it wasn't even very nice. It was a tiny little thing. And I don't know if it came with the memory card or not, but I hope it did, because they paid a lot. It seemed like they overpaid for it. So it's just a tiny little square digital camera that, you know, it keeps on file like the most recent 12 hours or whatever, however big the memory card is probably. Just deletes the oldest material first. And then like a conveyor belt of time, it keeps it saved on there. And the company that I was working for had about 500 trucks, and it's kind of like the eastern half of the United States. There's like, I don't know if it was 500, but it was like a few hundred at least, 200-300 something. And they definitely got some videos, man. We had these meetings every month or two. We would have to drive like an hour away from where I live, which was got to see some pretty good training videos on driving and, you know, being on the highway and just how to drive safely. And then we would watch truck driver fails. And after they got the dash cameras in the trucks, we had some truck driving fails from our own company. And some of them were fun to watch, and then a couple of them were just other drivers doing things, and then our driver was able to save it, and we would watch those too. Just anything that we got an event for. And then my boss, he got a video of a wreck happening in front of him that he was not involved in, but he got a video of that. I think it was like close to where his parents live or something, I think. I can't remember exactly. But dash cams are a good thing. I kind of want to get one. I want to get one of those nice ones, like that one that I was talking about before when I saw it was an ad for it, and one of those like First Amendment audit videos. He did a advertisement for a camera that has the ability to live stream to your phone. It can like connect to your phone through Bluetooth or whatever, and you can live stream with your phone from that device. It has a good microphone, has forward and rear facing camera that it can record both at the same time. And it was expensive though. It was like a few $100, I think, or more. But it was a nice thing, real nice thing. I'd like to have that one. But I want to get one. I want to get something. It would be nice if I had the camera that would serve that function as well as recording this podcast. Although calling this a podcast is a little bit disingenuous because there's only a video format so far. Is this a weblog? Is this a vlog? That's what this is. If there's no audio format, it's just a vlog or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I'm geez, wow. Full stop on the highway. Full stop. I'm losing my stuff over here. That was a full stop right there, brother. I guess that's what happens when you work past 4 o'clock, man. I wasn't expecting the full stop, dude. I let myself creep up close to this guy. And then it was a full stop. I wasn't expecting the full stop. Oh, that's why, this guy. He's got road flares out. Oh yeah, his hood's open. Semi-truck with his hood open. People are slowing down to, you know, just to be safe, even though he's out of the way. You know what? You had it, and now you don't. You had your turn signal on. I was hanging back. Guy could have got over, but he didn't want to. That's fine with me. So we're going to talk about traffic for a second, I guess, because I need to focus on it for a minute. We're in some pretty heavy rush hour traffic here. Heading out of Cleveland at 4:30 on a Friday. I guess that's to be expected, isn't it? And you know what? I actually watched one of my videos, and I know you guys were hearing that itching. That was just me itching my arm. You can hear everything in here. It turn on the heat. That's really loud. I think if I have a windshield mounted camera, that would help a lot with the sound vibration going directly into the phone. So right now the phone is just kind of wedged in between. If you guys have ever been in a Honda Civic, there's like a down here underneath of this is the tachometer and all the warning lights, and then up here I have my phone wedged up. That's the speedometer, and then there's an information panel that I set my phone in front of because I don't need any of that information right now. It's got the time and the temperature. And so I just wedged my phone in there as it records. Turn on a little bit of heat. There we go. 45 degrees is nice, but it's not exactly warm. I'm gonna have a little bit of heat on in here. Make it nice in here. almost the weekend. It kind of is the weekend, but I work on Saturdays too, so I'll be uploading tomorrow as well. And it'll be the same commute, but it won't be quite as early. Normally I start at 4 a.m., but Saturdays are not quite the same schedule. We come in an hour later on Saturdays, but I'll probably still leave the house at like 4. Get there about 4:30 something. Google says that the ride takes 33 minutes, but I've, you know, of course results may vary. Real life results vary. So I usually use the cruise control, but going home, the times really vary. And right now they're probably going to vary a lot because of the traffic. And once I get into my town, sometimes the traffic gets really bad in my town, and you can be sitting at the same red light, friggin' like over a quarter mile back from the light. And only like 10 cars will make it through, you know? You gotta watch out for that. You sit at one light for like 10-15 minutes. Alright, eventually somebody's gonna have to let me in. I'm just gonna get in now. I could fly up and cut somebody off, but I'm just gonna stay back here. I'm not in any rush. You know, once the traffic in front of you starts to move, it's like this highway goes down to 2 lanes because one highway splits off and then another highway splits off in the next quarter mile. And so if you want to stay on the highway that you started with, you have to go down to 2 lanes. And it's a choke point every single time, man. Everybody that's leaving out of Cleveland and wants to stay on this highway only has 2 lanes to keep going, and that's why we're doing 15 miles an hour right now. Crawling on the highway. But then as soon as we get on the other side, the highway that disconnects reconnects on the other side, you know, and then we get our 4 lanes back. And yeah, see, once we get past the choke point, or once you're in the actual neck of the bottle and you're headed towards the spout, the speed starts to pick up. 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour. Yeah, we're moving now. I don't think we're gonna have another slowdown. Yeah, I was talking about music this morning, talking about that Avenged Sevenfold album, The Stage. I seriously recommend that one. But I also have to recognize that it's not for everybody. You know, it's like that. It's aimed at a small group of people, and I'm in that group of people, man. It's my favorite album. Yeah, I think I can say that it is just plainly, simply my favorite album, period. Some people call it like a concept album, but the lead singer of the band, I think his name is Matt Sanders, but he goes by M Shadows. That's his like stage name. M Shadows. He says it's not a concept album, and I don't even really know what that means. Unless it's just like an album that has its own sound, and you can't really categorize it. Is it metal? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's kind of its own thing. It's just a piece of art, and I love it. Contemplates existence and like the future of robots, man becoming one with machine. And then there's one song that I don't get, called Goddamn. I kind of get the song, but I can't give like an in-depth description of what it is like I can a bunch of the other songs. Like The Stage is really simple, and then Sunny Disposition, I don't know how to describe that one either. If you want to ask me what it's about. But no one likes cheap wine. I know that. I'm going to be getting off the highway pretty early so I can go get these headphones, man. I'm about to go get them, and then, you know what? I'm going to listen to, maybe I'll listen to that album with them as soon as I get them. And then I'm going home, and my oldest daughter has a sleepover tonight and tomorrow night with my mom. And so that means it's just me and my wife and our younger baby. And that is nice. That is going to be nice. Don't have to worry about anybody walking around and trying to open up doors. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say that I can poop in peace. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about if you have kids, man. If you don't have kids, enjoy. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy being in the bathroom by yourself. My wife never gets to go to the bathroom by herself anymore. There's always a kid in there. You can tell yourself, yeah, right. When I have a kid, I'll just lock the door, and I don't care what they got going on. I'm in the bathroom right now. No, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can pull that off, but it's hard knocking on the door, Mommy or Daddy. Every time. I'm thirsty. Yeah, they do that, but man, you know, you love your kids, right? Even when they drive you nuts. They can drive you so nuts. You just can't, you tell yourself like, man, I just need a break. I need a break from these babies, man. I need a break from these babies, but then as soon as they're gone, you miss them. What is that about? What is that about? But it's true. I think a lot of parents, I've heard a lot of parents say that, and it's definitely true for me too, and my wife. We both have said it. Yep, getting off the highway early now. I guess I'll keep recording until I get close to the neighborhood that I'm headed to here. I don't know how well you can tell where I'm at. You can see out my window, kinda, but it's not a good angle. Oh, you can see the highway sign right there. So you might be able to tell where I'm at. You can tell that Toledo is that way. So if that's the sign to go west, which way was I coming, huh? Which way was I going? Does anybody know? Kind of exciting. After I posted the video from this morning, there was a view on it after like a half hour. I checked on it, I looked at it to see if it had uploaded, and it had uploaded, and there was a view on it. So I don't know if anybody watched it all the way through or not, but there was a view on it, so that was sweet. I got an organic YouTube view. It was real. But here's the question. When you have a YouTube view, what does that mean? Does that mean that they watched more than a minute of it? Or less than a minute? Or did they have to watch the whole thing for it to count as a view? I'm not really sure how that works. I have no idea how that works. And I can't exactly do testing that's reliable. I thought about doing that, like logging into another account and then watching one of these videos for like just a second to see if it counts that view, to see if it counts that as a view. But then I look at my YouTube account on my phone, and then I look at it on my computer, and the numbers don't match. My computer said the video had 2 views. My phone said that there was 3 views on the podcast that I said is my first view ever. And I think that was actually a legitimate view too. I don't think that was me just messing around. I think that was one too. So I'm getting a couple views here and there. Not bad for the first week that I've got a real view on there, because I don't think anybody else was doing it. It wasn't me. My wife was still asleep. So that was legitimate. That was an unknown entity who clicked on my video, which is kind of awesome. But, you know, with the audio quality and the video quality, I don't know how long they stayed for. and they didn't subscribe, which you're supposed to do. If you watch a YouTube video and they say subscribe, you're supposed to subscribe and like it every time. No, of course not. I almost never did for a long time, for years on YouTube. And now I'm like, you know what, dude, I do like this. And they have that little bell thing. When they first started that bell thing, people on YouTube were complaining about it, like, oh, no, subscribing doesn't even mean anything. You got to click the bell, too. Well, that's actually kind of cool, you know, because you can subscribe and then not just be bombarded by their stuff. And you still get suggested new stuff. And so, I don't know, the algorithm seems to be kind of alright. I don't know the ins and outs, you know. I've been here a week, and I basically know nothing. But I kind of like the bell. As a user, so as somebody who puts content on here, I kind of get why, you know, like, oh man, now it just makes it harder on the creators. But as a YouTube user, I liked it. What are you honking at? I don't know who was honking for what, but whatever. So yeah, I gotta figure out how this YouTube thing works exactly. You know, what do I do to make it the best thing? I watched one of those new content creator training videos that YouTube has on here, and they were talking about how the thumbnail is really important and the title of the video is really important. And I've been giving it titles, and then like the one clickbaity title that I have is was I illegally detained? And you know, that's really just a quick story about me getting pulled over, and I don't think it was legit, and I shouldn't have let him search my car. You have to go check out that video if you want that story. But it was nothing crazy or anything. It is a clickbaity title. But, you know, I heard Tom Woods say that it's not clickbait if you deliver on what you say, if you deliver on the title, you know? Like, life found on Mars. That would be a really clickbaity title, but not if there's really an alien on Mars, right? Then it's just true. But the title of that video, I don't think it was like egregious clickbait. I think it's more like Tom Woods clickbait, because I deliver on that title. Was I illegally detained? I might have been. I'm not sure. Can you pull somebody over just because they look like somebody? Because I didn't break any traffic laws when they pulled me over. I don't know. I shouldn't have even given that guy my ID. Wow. But I'm gonna end this thing. I'm gonna pick it back up when I'm on my way home. I'm gonna get these headphones. I'll show you guys what it's all about, and I'll be right back.